Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my Client Spotlight series. And today we are joined by Martha. Now, Martha was in my last round, the previous round, January, round of Sacred Feminine Pleasure. So I wanted to have this conversation with her and ask her a few questions about her experience. So, Assalamu alaikum, Martha. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me today. So I want to start straight into it. What made you join Sacred Feminine Pleasure? If you're able to, just break down your decision-making process on what made you go from reading my content or watching my lives to joining Sacred Feminine Pleasure.
Okay, I will do that. When I read your content, I thought, okay, you're speaking to me. I need this. And I've been healing for 2 years alone. And I was kind of curious about healing together in a group. So I didn't make the decision right away. I maybe used like 3-4 weeks following you, and then at the end of the time when I had to make the decision, I just thought I need this, because especially the part of finding my feminine energy, that really spoke to me.
Oh, yes. What was it about feminine energy? What was it? What did you feel like was lacking in your feminine energy?
You see, the healing I had done the past 2 years before, none of that really addressed awakening the feminine energy. And I felt that I knew that I had been suppressing myself. I had been acting different than my authentic self. And I knew I had to find the woman inside me that I had buried for many years. So that's why.
Oh, this is huge. And you're not the only one that was in the group, right? Most of the women were trying to become themselves. And this is why in week 5, we had the session or week 4, we had the session on being authentic, because before you can be authentic, or before you can tap into your feminine energy, you have to figure out who you are. And it's like we do the healing work, right? We do all that healing work. We try and do the surface level work, but it never gets to the core of you. It never goes to like the depths of your soul to figure out who you are, so you can embody your feminine energy. So I love the fact that you made that connection, that you were suppressing yourself. Okay. So what was abundance rewiring like? Can you explain a bit more about it to the audience, so they understand the experience of it? I think people get confused as to what abundance rewiring really is.
Yeah, okay. So for me, that's going on a journey inside and really discovering who I am, and discovering my blocks, and discovering my pain that needed to be addressed and released. So it's kind of like an exciting journey inside. That's how it felt for me.
Oh, I love that. Okay. And this is so interesting. I know like a lot of, when we do healing work, it's like, okay, like we can do the inner child work, which is nice. But really what you have to do is like excavate your inner demons to try and figure out why you suppress yourself. And I think us as women, because we've been programmed to be so masculine, we've been programmed to achieve, to be go-getters, to constantly be on the go, we forget what we want. And it's like we put our desires aside just to achieve something. But then when we achieve it, it's like, it's not that great. Like why am I doing this? Right?
Yeah, exactly. And we forget who we are. We forget that it's enough just to be ourselves.
Exactly. Oh, Marthe hit the nail on the head. It's enough to be yourself. Like I hope everyone watching this understands that, and it lands in the body. It's okay to be yourself. It's enough. Like you don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to outwork the competition. You don't have to like seek validation. Just being yourself is enough. So how much of a hot mess were you, Martha, before you joined Sacred Feminine Pleasure?
I was not too bad, because I had done a lot of healing work, but I was kind of like 65-70%, and I still had some challenges that I had to deal with.
And what was the biggest challenge that you found that gave you that breakthrough?
I think it was my nervous system. Because my body was reacting in fear. Although I had done a lot of healing work, my body was still in the fear and in the flight modus, and not only flight but freeze actually. So you know, when you step forward and when you heal, you have to have all your body with you on the healing journey. And I was missing the last part of my body, just like let go of the freeze and the flight and the being fear.
Oh, this is so good, Martha. And I think people don't understand this very well. Yes, you can do the subconscious work, but you have to let it land in your body. You have to let your body thaw out. It's like your body is frozen in time as that little girl, and it's stuck in that survival pattern. We're still surviving. Daddy doesn't love me. Mommy doesn't love me. And there's so much going on, and you're frozen in time. So when your nervous system is frozen in time, no matter how much mindset work you do, if you don't let your body thaw it out, if you don't let your body feel the pain of being that little girl who felt abandoned, rejected, hurt, then you're going to stay stuck in pattern. This is why a lot of people, when they do programs, like they do the mindset work, but they go back to their old habits because the body didn't feel the pain. And when you feel the pain and you grieve that pain, that's when you're able to move on, and your nervous system comes out of fight or flight and goes into thriving mode. Like, it's safe now. Like,
yeah.
Remember the last session that we had? Like, everyone was asking about identity work, like, and I kept saying to you guys, it's safe to be you. Like, all of you guys are asking questions about how do I respond to my environment, rather than asking questions about how to heal something, which I found so phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, what was it like? Because you mentioned that you wanted to heal in a group. What was it like healing with other women?
You know, it was really it was like making the healing work even more what to say, like expansive, because in a group someone asked a question that I didn't even think about asking, but when we went through the coaching, I realized I needed the healing too. So it was kind of like digging deep into layers that I didn't you know, I wouldn't have come to that point doing the work alone.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. And this is what gets us women out of masculinity. This is like the key part, group healing. Because I know, like, for us women, we like, especially when we're high achievers, that we know how to like get out of a rut, but then we don't know how to ask for help. So like we stay stuck in this rut of doing everything by ourselves, healing by ourselves, and I've got this. No one feels sorry for me. No one pity me. I've got it. I'm independent. But then when you heal in a group environment, you heal that sister wound of like not being able to rely on anyone. So like, just like you mentioned now, that the questions that the women asked, you needed that healing. Like, imagine if you were just doing that by yourself, you wouldn't know how many layers to your wounding there was. You would just be like, okay, I've healed the surface level wound. Let's move on. And that's what most of us do, right? Alpha women. Us, when we're in our masculine, we're like, okay, I've done the surface level work. Let's just move on. I'm done. Yeah. But I guess the group healing helps you land more softly in your femininity.
Yeah, I think so. And another point is that the group setting really made me feel like I feel like a woman, because I could recognize the other women was like me. We are the same, you know, across the whole world. Women are the same, and I felt like it was like empowering to be listening to the other one and being with the other ones and feeling that, okay, we are in this together and we can like help each other and support each other to be to become more of ourselves, and it's safe to be ourselves. It was like a really nice setting.
Oh, I love that. And Martha, I want to add to that, like, mashallah, your energy that you brought to the container and the way you are willing to be coached. Like, even when you didn't understand something, you were willing to ask. And I think that's what helped you heal so many layers within yourself. And I think that's what helped the energy of the container stay a high vibe, because you weren't trying to keep the wall up. All of the ladies in Sacred Feminine Pleasure, all of you were like, no, I want to put my guard down. I want to lay down my weapon and I want to come in and wounded, bleeding, and be like, save me. Someone help me. So like, thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for being open to being coached. Like that really helped the container stay in this high vibration of love and just compassion for each other. Okay, final question. What would you say to a woman who is reading my content like you were, and she's thinking, I need this, but she's stuck in indecision. She doesn't know if she should go for it and sign up. What's your advice to her?
I would say just do it. Just think about yourself, and that think about you are the most important person in your own life. And investing in yourself is really, you know, we forget to do that. We think about our car need to go to service, our house need to be fixed, and we have to do a lot of things, but really investing in yourself and how you can handle your life and really expand your reality actually, and up level your life and really live in more content, more happy, more aligned with Allah, and really feel life more strongly and being yourself. I would say just do it.
Oh, I love that, Martha. Oh my gosh, it's so true. Be yourself. Like, I think none of us realize that we are the most expensive commodity on earth, not our car, not our house. We are expensive. Like, maintaining our body and our mind requires resources, right? But like, what happens is when we're stuck in this indecision, we're thinking, let me fix my car, let me buy my house, let me do all the things that will make me feel good, but deep down inside, I'm still unfulfilled. And I find that a lot of women do this, especially because we've gone through the programming. We've been told that our worth is in how much we can earn, how successful we are, how great our careers are. And we forgot to fill ourselves up and tell ourselves that we matter. So thank you for saying that, Martha, because it's so true. Like, we matter. As women, we matter. We are the fabric of society. Like, we need to figure out who we are so we can pass on this wisdom to the next generation. So that was amazing, Martha.
Exactly. And you need to wake up every day and deal with yourself. And you know, every day, every minute, you're dealing with yourself, and that's why it's so important.
Oh my, exactly. You go to bed with yourself every night. Wouldn't it make sense for you just to love yourself and to figure out who you are? Because you are in your mind 24/7. I can't see your mind. You can't see my mind, but I live with it. And I live with the agony, right? So wouldn't it make sense to invest in that so you can be the best version of yourself? Oh, that was amazing, Martha. That was amazing. So guys, just like Martha said, sign up for Sacred Feminine Pleasure because it's going to change your life, okay? Martha, thank you so much for having this conversation with me. I love you. Your energy is so infectious, so amazing, so magnetic. And I pray that Allah blesses you with the best in this life and the hereafter. Ameen.
Thank you, Rosie, and thank you for an amazing program. And this time with you is, I will never forget it. It's really, really a pleasure. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. Okay.